I thought it was like saving the project and stuff, and my computer like went down, or just froze up, and then for the life of me, I can't find it. But the only thing I can find is that I did was the user scenarios. So
Okay, that's good. Someone's trying to call us.
oh, it doesn't work like that.
No. Okay, go ahead. So I just.
Yeah. So all I have is, let's see. I guess I can start screen sharing. Excellent. I just did this. This is the first thing I did before I started my sorts.
Good.
But I don't. Yeah, I was like practically done with the whole. I mean, I was getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like getting it, and then
Because you were working on the questions for the card sort. Is that it?
yeah, I was doing all that. So, is this kind of how we're supposed to do it? I guess.
It looks perfect. What did you discover when you were doing these?
Well, this was pretty easy for me because I know
Yeah.
there's tons of different scenarios and questions for IKEA shoppers, and most of these are. This is all like related to the people that shop. I mean, this is true to nature. You see middle-aged people, and then you see. I mean, I get a lot of foreign exchange students. Like, I don't know how many times I've filled out an email with ending in washu.edu, you know, or whatever, because they're all going to WashU. So, like some of the questions that they asked is that can you do the IKEA family thing, and where to find the store, and then like people that are older group of people.
Hey, there's Pamela. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you're here.
It's just a struggle every time.
Did you get a message in time?
See, the email doesn't come, so then I thought I need to log into World and then hit that link. So that's what I did.
Okay, good. So Darren's just showing his user scenarios.
Oh, okay.
And they look perfect. When you actually did the tasks, Darren, did it prove your point that it was awkward and hard to figure out?
The website, yeah.
It
just kind of verified exactly the problems that people go through when they go to IKEA and they try to when they come to the store, and then I'm like, I tell them about the website and I tell them how they can do everything online, or at least they can plan their trip before they go online, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But,
I wouldn't have thought to do that either.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. I would just create some page breaks between your different user scenarios, and also, I mean, ideally, you're gonna have, when you finish this project, you're gonna have graphics from the card sort and reverse sort application from Optimal Sort, and you're gonna have your flow charts and everything. So the easiest thing to do would be to bring it all into InDesign, and then you can control the formatting.
Yeah.
I mean, with Microsoft Word, you just don't get a lot. It's very difficult to control the exact placement of things on the page.
Okay, so bringing it to InDesign, like not into Illustrator, or
no. Well, InDesign is a page layout program, right? So it can, if you set up a document in InDesign, then you can, you know, you can set columns, and you just have a lot. You would bring your flow chart, everything that you do, you would bring into InDesign, and then you would save it out as a PDF. And this allows you to have, you know, control over the layout of all of the pages of,
right.
Of your whole project.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you want, I can give you guys a little demo of that.
Yeah, as far as the card sort, I mean, I was like, there was a lot of information to go through, like, so I don't know, I was kind of like, I wasn't sure if I was like going the right direction or not, if I was, but.
Did you look at the questions that I created for the card sort about that church?
Yeah. Like, yeah, so, I mean, so we're supposed to follow that, right? Like,
right. So you just, it was a stretch for me to come up with 25 questions.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. So you lost your questions as you were setting it up. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, more. Darren, I lost you for a second. Did you?
I might go back and create like better questions.
So you lost the questions as you were setting it up?
Yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah. So.
You also need to do a flow chart of the existing information architecture too, before you get too far with that.
Okay.
Just FYI. Don't get overwhelmed. Just focus on the St. Louis part of it.
Right.
The local store.
Cool.
Pamela, I don't think I have the greatest internet connection in the whole world here, so I apologize.
Yeah, mine is probably not all that good either.
Do you want to go ahead and pull up your stuff?
Is it coming through?
You just no, I don't think you've hit share screen yet.
I hit it, but didn't actually finish the job. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So my first page has some. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first page, it's the title and also the objective, and I took the objective straight from the website. Here are my demographics, and I suppose of these people on, but this guy, I got a kick out of Darren's 32-year-old middle-aged person. That cracked me up.
I know, 32 is not middle-aged.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, probably it is. I mean, literally, if you live to be 74. But yeah, no. Anyway, you will feel differently when you are 34. So anyway, the first person I put together is an actual working artist. So backpedaling a bit, the Regional Arts Commission for artists and people involved in art, but they also want to put an economic spin on how art helps the community. And of course, they're going to be more significant than ever with these proposed budget cuts. So I would say ultimately the website is designed for artists. Here's the first artist. He's a working artist and he's making it, but he wants to do things better. And so he's going to look for possible grant opportunities. And they have a couple that are pretty amazing. One is a $20,000 grant that is offered annually. Unfortunately, they've been kind of giving it to people that I don't think really need it. They're already really successful. I think that they need to probably target it, to people that are a little less along on their path. But anyway, so that's the first one. And then I've got someone who is really interested in the arts, but is sort of hiding from it or hasn't had much of an opportunity to explore it. The third person is the one that is maybe the wife of a really successful person. She doesn't have to work and she's wealthy and wants to help in time and in money and in resources. And here's my current flow chart. So this is as far as I've gotten. Here's the thing that's interesting about this. It's visually blowing my mind when I go there. It's a mess, in my opinion. It's too much. It's overwhelming. It's overstimulating. I don't know where to go. But if I have a specific question, like these 3 scenarios, I found it quite well. Mm-hmm. Also, it surprised me. So I don't believe this particular exercise is going to address the issues I have with this site. The issues I have with this site is on the first page specifically, it just scrolls on forever and there's too much information and everything, the hierarchy is all the same visually. And so I find it to be obnoxious and overdone and unnecessary. Now that's only true on a desktop. It may not be as obnoxious on a phone. So, because you scroll down and down and down and down, I still feel like there's a better way to visually address the things that they want to say. But I think it's built really well. So I don't know really, how much of a change there'll be after the questions. The only thing I found that I thought was a little odd is they don't have a map how to get there anywhere that I could find. And so for some of the old school people that are still not ready to deal with that by taking the address, which is everywhere, and Google mapping it, it might be a bit frustrating. And I went to a couple of workshops where there were some people that were really old and really couldn't do anything technical. So that was the only thing I saw that was that didn't work. So I don't know.
You're one user, so I don't want you to jump to too many conclusions based on your experience. You're now much more familiar with this site than any new user. I would not think to look for legal assistance under Learn, for example. And the observation that there's no map on how to get there, that should be one of the questions that you set up in your card sort. How do I get there? Right. So let these user scenarios you've worked on dictate your 25 questions for your card sort.
All right.
Some of the observations you made, and then see what your users are telling you. You may be surprised.
Okay. Okay. Well, and that's another thing. So then with the questions, so now I guess I didn't know that you had example questions. So I'll refer to those examples. And I looked at the student reports, but I find that the questions when I was listening to the tutorial, it was like, and other research I did on questions, there's such ambiguity, I can't say that word, and in a sense that it's like you want to make your this is probably the one and only time you want to make your user really think. You don't want them to go on automatic pilot. You want them to really consider the question. And so then there's this discussion on verbiage and the position of the words. And then on top of that, it seemed to me like and maybe I'm getting the card sort and the reverse card sort mixed up, but there was the question that asks for a task, and then they're asked to sort those questions into categories and then to name the category. Is that what we're doing? Is that right? Okay. So then I got the impression asking them to do the task. So here's the question. Go on the website and find this answer. Allison, I'm just getting mixed into the equation, or because that's a whole nother task. That's a whole nother thing to ask.
The reverse sort is designed to test what you came up with.
Okay, so that is the reverse sort, what I'm thinking.
The card sort dictate that informs you on how you want to change your information architecture. Then you change the architecture, and then you do a reverse sort to test that. And that
gotcha.
That is your tool to figure out whether you did a good job or not. So,
right. And so I guess this.
Did you go ahead and participate in the sort that I set up for the website that Swick is working on?
I did, and that was my one and only experience with the card sort, and I thought that was pretty easy and well done. And
well, I think what we'll do, they meet at a different time than we do, so it'll be a random time, maybe on Thursday or maybe next week. I think they meet Tuesday, Thursdays in the afternoons. So I'm going to try to coordinate with Nikki and show the results of the sort and talk about it and redo their architecture based on the sort. And that might help everybody kind of figure out what to do next with this data that they've collected.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that will also give us a chance to collaborate with them and connect with them. So it'll serve a couple purposes. And then I'll record the session in case people can't make it, I'll record the session.
Okay. So just to let you know, on Thursday, I'm going to Florida, and Florida where my dad lives, and he found a car for me, so I'm picking it up. So the getting there is brief, but getting home is 2 days. So I'm not going to be very available until Monday.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not sure exactly when Nikki will be able to do this. So I'm going to be traveling the rest of the day today. So I'll send her an email and see when we can set this up. And like I said, I'll record it so you can go back and see what happened during the session.
Okay. So do you have any more feedback on what I've done thus far?
I think that it's looking really good what you've set up. I think it's a little bit busy. You know, you know what I mean? If you go to just your design of your presentation is like, it's a little bit difficult to read, you know, like your headings aren't standing out enough.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of contrast between that maroon and the gray. So it's a little bit hard to read. I would maybe consider taking that gray just down to white, and it would be a lot easier to read, I think.
I might be taking the background out. I thought it was fun, and
it is, but I just don't want it to take away from what you're trying to do, which is communicate, the change in architecture.
Right.
With flowcharts, the way that you have this set up right here, it's really clean. It looks good. However, when you have these lines that go down, like what you're implying is that Explore is under grants, and Available is under grants, and Manage is under grants, and Review is under grants. They're all there's like a linear structure.
Yeah.
To solve that problem, I would put the line over to the left and show it branching in like that, so it's like a prongs. So it implies that Explore, Available, Manage, Review, they're all at the same level. Do you see what I mean?
So you're saying to put the lines over here?
Well, the way this appears,
yeah,
it appears like this is a linear structure, right?
Here, sorry, you broke up a little bit. Say that.
The line, it appears that it's a linear structure where you have Available under Explore, Manage under Available, Review under Manage. So typically,
I see what you're saying. So it's actually under grants, and it's not.
Yes, and you want to explain that these are all at the same level. What you have is it's not horrible because you're not creating this line all the way through. But a lot of times I see students create this line and it goes all the way through and it looks like it's a linear structure, and that's not what it is. They're all at the same level.
Right. Okay.
And I know you think that they're not problems with this, but what the heck does Available mean? That's the most ambiguous category I've ever.
If you are, right, because that is not really what it says. These are much longer titles, and I'm doing this. Because my thought is, and maybe I shouldn't be thinking this way, but I figure this is almost like an internal memo. It's between me and it's between the company. This is not for the public. And so my thought is that they know what this means.
Right.
So it means available grants is what it means. So if you consider the word grant on all of those categories, it makes sense. Of shoring it up so that it would visually, those are just trigger.
Right.
Do it, but this is a internal memo kind of thing, not meant for the public, not meant to be overly explained.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, but if you were working with a web development team and you pass this off, you're like, I'm the user experience designer. I've analyzed their website, and I've taken, I've restructured all of this, and then you pass it off to the designers, developers who are going to redesign everything and build the site. They need to know what the real category name is, And
they're gonna use that information from a flowchart. I would think that there'd be something where really okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I've done web development projects, we all carry around the flowcharts and we talk about it, and I write my file names on my flowchart so everybody knows that is actually called the Explore Grants is called exploregrants.php, or you know what I mean? It's not only a communication, it's a communication tool between you and the client, and then the designers and the developers. They all need to know what the new structure is going to be.
Right. I just didn't think that at this stage and especially with this particular flowchart, that was necessary. I'm always thinking about ways to make things visually more, especially if, this is not the way it would, okay, so if the developer, that's a different story. I didn't know that. I didn't know what besides this one's the first one, so this isn't even going to stay.
Right.
So,
right.
Okay.
Just when you do your final one, you probably want to be as explicit as possible, because that flowchart it's the map. It's like think about the name of the class. It's information architecture, right? So in regular architecture, the architect is being as explicit as possible, because those go off not only between the architect and the client.
On the blueprint. Well, if you told me this was a blueprint, that'd be different. So on a blueprint, yes, there's explicit as possible, down to the inch. Right. So if that's what this is, then that's what I'll do.
Well, the class is information architecture. So that.
Well, I understand that, but that as this was the final map of all things. Again, I didn't, I didn't know that. So now I'm learning.
Yeah, that's good. So I think you're in good shape. I'm going to try to get that sort set up so you guys have an example to build off of.
Okay.
And then I'll let you know about it. But keep going. This is Pamela, if it makes you feel any better, when I first did this project, I was like, oh my gosh, this whole sorting process, what if we get nothing out of it and nobody's sites changed and all of that? And my faith after doing this project the first time, it was so cool to see that this process actually worked, and I feel relaxed about it, because I've seen students have, turn out some really interesting results based on the whole process. But you don't know what you're going to find until you do it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'll probably do a call with the Leiden people on Friday, and so you're welcome to attend if you want to. And then I'll let you know about what I work out with Nikki and the SWIC people.
Okay.
But let me know if you need any help. It's looking good. Just keep on keeping on.
And those questions are still up, right? The example
from the sort that I set up.
Yeah.
I think if you log in, you should be able to see them. If not, let me know, and I'll copy and paste them. But if you look at the student examples that I have posted, you can see their questions too in their reports.
All right, cool.
Some of them included them. I'm almost positive. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, safe travels.
Have a good day.
Yep.
See you later. Oh, did you see my thing about advising appointments? Since you're both my advisees, if you can in my office on Wednesday, late afternoon, Thursday. If that doesn't work for you, let me know, and we can always do it after class next Tuesday. But I got to get you cleared for fall registration. So let me know what works.
Okay.
Did you send an email?
Uh-huh.
I'll probably have to Tuesday, but.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I think it was yesterday morning, telling everybody that I'm switching my office hours around because I'm not in town until tonight. So I told everybody that if they should sign up for their advising appointments if they can in those times. But since I see you guys on Tuesdays, I can just take care of you on Tuesday too. So
okay,
it's fine. Cool. All right, toodaloo. Right. Have a great day. Be safe going to Florida, Miss Pamela. All right, take care.
Bye-bye.